Today, we're looking at a moment where a woman refuses to sign a prenup, expecting the guy to just go along with it. But he's not having it. This one doesn't end how she expected.
My last relationship, we broke up because he asked me to marry him, but then he asked me to sign a prenuptial agreement, and I said absolutely not. I think that's bogus. I'm not gonna sign a piece of paper that says that if you leave me, I get nothing. Like, no, I think that I should have half of everything that you've worked your entire life for. And I think that's fair.
Get the out of my house!
As a man, asking for a prenup before getting married is a way to protect your assets and properties, and there is nothing wrong with it.
Let me tell you what my husband says. He says that if a man asks you to sign a prenup, run. Because he's not a provider. Like, he's already keeping something from you, and he's already in that mindset of like trying to protect himself.
It's probably easy for a man to say this if he's never been burned before in divorce. He's got his guard down. He doesn't realize the potential loss he's staring at when he chooses to marry. And it's not about keeping things from you. It's about helping things along in the event of a divorce. I mean, you're already losing your partner. Emotional damage, there's just so much going on. Prenup can make things easier. It's not always about making sure that the other person doesn't get anything. It can be more about keeping things organized. And if the way divorces continue to go, most men will require a prenup. Otherwise, it makes no sense for them to get married. A man is not entitled to give you everything he's worked his off for his entire life.
100% correct. Only a man that has tasted betrayal would be wise enough not to make the same mistake and potentially risk losing everything.
You really not gonna sign a prenup?
No, I'm not signing no prenup. What you got is what I got.
Okay, but I don't understand, why would you not want to sign? Basically, our love is
Your
real.
money is my money.
Huh?
Simple as that.
Okay, why are we going straight to the money? It don't have me. All I'm doing is my lawyers are telling me that I have to protect myself, and it's not from you, but it's just
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Everything that you bring in the house, is mine too.
Nah, cause I mean, what did you come with? What did you come with that you deserve to think you just don't like? Like, this is for our own protection. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what you say. It's my money too.
My money is my money, and your money is yours.
Simple as that.
But see, the lawyer said that's what you was gonna do, though. They were saying you was not.
No, he didn't.
So what's the point of you not signing the prenup,
The
though?
money that you bring home is mine too. Simple as that. End the conversation.
That's crazy. So I guess there ain't gonna be no wedding.
Whatever.
Women.
And this is why men are checking out of marriage and relationships. Marriage for men is a lifelong commitment.
What if he married you without any government assistance? For example, no legal contract. Just say, you know what, let's go to a church, let's get married. Would that be cool?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Okay.
Would you be okay if he made you sign a prenuptial agreement? It's a no.
Freedom!
That's why he don't want to get married.
Say you're gonna marry a girl, okay? And you love her so much. Would you make her sign a prenup with the abundance of money you do have?
Yeah, of course.
Would make her sign a prenup?
Yeah, why not? Because if she was like, she's not comfortable with that, then it's like...
But she might get offended by that.
We do not care.
That discussion is hard, but it is necessary in any relationship.
Well, if she's offended by that, then she's not the one, right?
Okay.
I mean, it's like, is that then, she's offended by it, is she like, is that why she's there then?
Your money? What if she also made a lot of money? Like, maybe more than what you make?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Well, the laws, specifically in California, are really not in favor of men, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like a woman you could break up, they could take like half your she could do it and be like, peace.
Okay. So you would make her sign a prenup?
Yeah, of course.
As a man, getting married is one of the most sensitive decisions you will make in your life, so it's better to deal with it with caution.
Is it a red flag if your partner doesn't want to sign a prenup before you get married?
No, it's not a red flag.
I don't like where this is going.
Why do you feel that way?
I don't think everybody should have the same perspective on a prenup before entering into a marriage or a partnership. It comes down to your perspective, your experiences, and also the specific partnership you're entering into. You might be the person that believes that what's mine is ours.
We? Who's we? There is no we.
I don't see myself leaving the partnership in the future. We are going to do things jointly and we're going to do things together, and we're not going to leave our past out and keep it separated. You might strongly hold those beliefs and you might have been raised that way.
Boo-boo. Yes, it's a red flag. It could be a red flag if they're like really passionate about it. They go flying off the handle over it like, no, I can't believe you would ever. If someone reacts like that, maybe there's an ulterior motive. I would say having the conversation, not good, not bad necessarily, but it's a red flag if you bring it up and they're so opposed that they can't have a conversation about it. Ultimately, a marriage is a partnership. So if you're way here and they're way there and they're not willing to compromise or even talk or consider,
Then there's just no partnership.
trying to like strong arm you into a quick couple $1 million come up.
It's normal to have that conversation.
You also should bring up that question in a smart, easy way, not a hard way that might put them off. But remember, it is something you should do. The sooner, the better.
Okay, I have an honest question for men. If men feel, I've been told by many men, that they get screwed over in divorce, that they end up getting all of their money taken, they lose their house, they lose the rights to their kids, they tell me that divorce rips them of everything. Puts them in financial ruins, if you will. So then my question is, knowing 50% of divorces fail, knowing women file 75% of the time for divorces, why aren't more men asking for prenups?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Or why aren't more men asking for postnups?
She's right. Every man should make sure to insure himself against divorce. And a prenup is like insurance.
If they're under the belief that they will get taken for everything that they have in the event of a divorce, and their odds are 50-50, there's a 50% chance that you're going to get a divorce. Why are you not asking for prenups and postnups? I genuinely want to know what the reason is. If you feel like you have so much to lose in the event of a divorce, why are you not protecting yourself?
Everything before marriage should be 100% untouchable. Plain and simple. Never enter a contract with someone who is rewarded for breaking it.
Best one.
I got asked if I wanted a prenup the other day.
Huh?
I got asked if I wanted a prenup.
Oh, this is a good one. Nah, this ain't gonna go well for me.
My accountants and the lawyers asked if I wanted a prenup.
So prenup is when if we
You
don't
sign
marry,
it means
keep
you
everything.
get nothing. If we divorce, you get nothing.
Okay, so the only reason why I say is we don't get a prenup is because I technically have stopped working to support the family, right? So I've got no retirement money. I have no mortgage money, literally nothing to survive. Should we not be with each other?
Which is
don't
why
you have a job?
My answer was no.
And that is respectable. I don't think we're going to break up anyway.
No.
People, once you've had a baby, if you don't break up within the first year and a half, you're
That's what
fine.
I'm saying.
We've seen every single side of each other.
Yeah.
And I think all the hate that we've gone through online and we're still together,
Yeah,
we're made of tough stuff, actually.
I can understand the point of view, but taking half of her husband's properties is never the answer to this. It's like using someone as a life vest.
Guess what? You guys thought it was over. It's not. Still in your face.
Get rid of me?
What's up, brothers?
Yeah, but I just think for that reason only, just because I've not taken on work to support our home so that you can work and you can live your best life. I support you. I think it's unfair to get a prenup.
Thanks, babe.
Because otherwise I can't retire.
Cheers, G.
I'm going to be broke B.
Yeah.
The problem with relationships is that even if the first year or years are good, you cannot tell what's going to change next. We humans constantly change, and that change can be unknown sometimes, and divorce is a potential result.
When we got married, I was the girl that was like, I'm not signing a prenup. Because I'm marrying you till death do us part. I come from a legacy of women who stand by their men no matter what, so you don't have to worry about me. And I'm not signing a prenup because to me, contracts are real. So if you're writing if this happens, you're basically saying that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so I see how now in hindsight, I am such an advocate of prenups because marriage at the end of the day is a business.
We can explain it like cars. We get insurance, right? To avoid paying in case of accidents. And accidents are something that we all want to avoid, just like divorces. And it is similar to insurance. Just because we did it doesn't mean accidents will happen.
Because at the end of the day, we are all individual souls. Let's stop with the literalness that something is gonna last forever. Nothing lasts forever. So even, I heard this once, that even marriages where the two people are married forever, that marriage is gonna look 3 to 5 different ways over time.
Hypothetically, if there was a prenup that said you get $0 upon divorce, would that still be an acceptable commitment of marriage in the ways they're describing?
I feel like it's a cop-out if you sign a prenup. It's like you're already planning for failure.
Well, that's awful convenient to say. Let us assume that the divorce courts were rigged in the favor of men instead of women. Would you say then that a woman should protect herself by getting a prenuptial agreement? Because if she didn't have, they did divorce, the man had all the earning capacity and she doesn't, and she needs to protect herself.
In this hypothetical scenario, men are initiating 80% of the divorces.
I would tell her, don't get married if you can't make that risk.
Great. That's the exact advice that I would give to a man in reverse. If a woman is unwilling to sign a prenuptial agreement, don't get married.
No, I mean, don't get married if you're debating a prenup because you're
right.
You're
saying the same thing I'm saying. If you're debating a prenup, then don't get married.
If you feel like the argument is getting nowhere, just walk away.
I'm such a proponent.
Yeah,
Protect your assets.
we owned multiple businesses when we got married.
Yeah.
And when I brought it up, he was like, yeah, sure, I'll sign it.
So
It's a stigma, I think, just like, oh, you should trust your partner, like getting
We're
married.
never gonna get divorced.
Like I would never have my partner sign a,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, well, I came into the relationship with businesses I have to protect. Like, can you imagine if someone married you for the wrong reasons and they walked away with half of your business?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
For their life. Yeah. For the rest of their life. Like, you never get that back.
You don't want to experience having half of your stuff taken from you.
Recommend that you have her sign a prenuptial agreement that basically says if there's any reason this marriage ends, she walks away with what she owns, you walk away with what you own. If she's not willing to sign that, well then I'm not necessarily sure I'd be married to anybody for any reason. I mean, when you think about it, dude, marriages are a business contract with the state. It's basically saying if anything happens to this relationship, you're gonna need us to get out of it. So it's a contract with the state. It affords you married couple benefits and privileges, but I don't even know what those are anymore. I don't know what they are, but you know, I highly recommend finding someone that you love and you want to be with, and they respect you and you respect each other, and live happily ever after.
Be careful who you trust.
That's what I would hope. But a contract with the state is not necessary to do that. You don't have to be married through the state. You can be married through spirit. You can be married through agreement, just a personal agreement. But when it comes to how do you know if they're the one, you don't. You don't know that they're the one. In fact, a lot of people get that wrong.
This question has been asked to me at least 100 times, so let's answer it. Yes, I would sign a prenup, and I would actually encourage my husband to do the same. While I would love the idea to be married forever, right? I am not blind to the realities of today. And the realities of today is the divorce rate is extremely high. And because of that, I clearly would never enter my marriage anticipating divorce, but I have to acknowledge the realities. So yes, I'm team prenup.
And any business has a margin of failure. So be careful.
My boyfriend asked for a prenup and I feel offended and sad. What would you do? What I did, my love, was sign a prenup. I knew my husband would want one and I didn't even make him ask. Right after we got engaged, I said, I bet you want a prenup. And he said, yeah, I do. And I said, no problem. I have nothing against him wanting to ensure what he has created for himself. And that's what a prenup is. It's just insurance. You having insurance on your car doesn't mean you're going to smash it into a pole. You having insurance on your house doesn't mean you're going to burn it down. And a couple having insurance on their assets doesn't mean they're headed for divorce. In today's world, it's okay to protect what you've created. It's okay to have insurance.
The problem here is that some ladies take it personally, when in reality, it is only for a man to protect everything he worked hard for.
I hate the stigma around divorce where people are like, well, if you're going to have a prenup, then you're expecting it to fail. Or like, oh, well, if you're fine to leave eventually, then you're expecting it to fail. And it's like, no, like even Kay, like if in 10 years, for whatever reason, like you know, something happens or like, you know, hopefully nothing terrible, but like something happens in her relationship and it's like, you know what, like it's not, I don't know. It's just, I hate that there's a stigma because it's like in the end, you're still going into it hoping for the best, you know? But like in Aspen's case, like she's doing what's best for her. You know what I mean? And I know people can disagree with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
I mean, even at one point, you weren't interested in getting a prenup at one point.
Oh my God. The one interesting thing about a prenup for me is like I used to be on the whole other side where it was like I would never get one because that's exactly what you're doing. You're like, why would you have a prenup if you're expecting it to that there's a world it could end because then you're not going into it full force. Like I used to like fully understand that and believe that. Like truly, speaking of changing your mind, I was like, wait, I see that because even if you have like a 1% chance of it happening and you have an exit route, like why would you do that? Because then you're not fully in it. Fast forward to me now currently, I'm like, oh my God, the fact that the contract to get married is so much shorter than a divorce contract, like when you really think about it, wedding is a contract. It's a commitment. It's a contract.
A lot can happen in the next 5 to 10 years, so better always have a backup plan. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it. Well, guys, that was all for today. We'll be back soon.